Hello, everyone. I thought it'd be useful to do these short videos, very short, and do them like nuggets to share thoughts, answer your questions you may have on project management, on PMO. Perhaps you have thoughts or questions on coaching and mentoring which you'd like me to answer. So I thought I'd be addressing those questions and comments in these periodic videos, which I now intend to start posting. So let me know if this is something that's interesting to you or you'd like to hear a bit more about it. So I've got this question I want to tackle today. The question is, how do I answer the question around, or how do I answer when an interviewer says to me, walk me through your CV, highlighting any experience which is relevant to the role you've applied for? Now, this question might come in different formats, but essentially, there's a certain way to answer such a question. Now, the question itself gives you a very good insight into the kind of answer that would be appropriate in terms of a response to that kind of question. So for starters, if they've asked you to walk through your experience, of course, they have a copy of your CV, so they're not expecting you to go into chapter and verse or war and peace pieces of your experience. A good starting point is start with your current experience. So thank you for the question. So I've got over 10 years experience in managing projects and programs. I'll start with my most recent experience. So a good tip, don't go to your oldest experience because often it's too far away. Start with your most recent experience and then walk backwards. So focus on your first. So if you're in a role right now or you're just rounding up a role, start with your most recent experience. Highlight the bits of the role which is relevant to what you've applied for. For example, if you've applied for a project manager role, then I'll start with my most recent role. In my most recent role, I am a project manager. I'm responsible for X amount of project with X amount of budget. I've been typically involved with doing tech project, software project with a budget of X, and I've typically be responsible for all the project activities relating to that. So in terms of helping to determine the scope, managing the time, cost, quality, and deliverables. So you kind of give people an oversight of what you've been doing, but always remember the tip at the back of your mind. For an example, look at it from this way. Imagine you were looking for someone to do a bit of decoration in your house. You've gone out and said, look, I'm looking for someone to do a bit of decoration in my house. When the person comes in, you're asking them for the kind of decoration I want to do. You're trying to assess, is this the right person? Same sort of thing in an interview setting. So you're asking them, what kind of work have you done before? You don't want them sitting in front of you telling you, 15 years ago, I painted the Queen's Palace. That's brilliant. What have you done recently? Okay. So that's really what you have to have at the back of your mind when you're asked any interview question. So as I use the example, like if someone was coming to decorate your house, you wouldn't really want the person sat in front of you talking about experience they had years ago. You'd want them to talk about, okay, I've done something similar, and then can show you pictures of something they've done quite similar and quite recently with great feedback. So bear that at the back of your mind. As the main purpose for the interviewer's question, they're trying to work out whether your experience is a fit for what they're looking for, and usually the clues in the job description they've provided. So for an example, if it's a project manager role or if it's a PMO manager role where they're looking for someone that's set up PMO, start with that. Say, in my most recent role, I was responsible for setting up the PMO from the scratch. I implemented the governance processes. I was responsible for this amount of projects and programs. Focus a little bit more on that, but read also the body language of the people you're talking to. If you're talking to them and they're kind of looking like they're glazing over, or their body language is telling you that you're talking a bit too much, it's that thing about how much detail should I give? Body language will tell you a lot. You can give a high level amount of detail and then say, happy to go into a bit more detail if you would like, and then move on to your next role before your most recent role. Now, the further along you go, keep the detail less and less and less. Okay? That's a good tip for you to bear in mind. So you're not just talking. Look at the room, read the room and work out whether it's about time to stop whether it's about time to give a bit more information. But if you're not sure, go with less information and then say, I'm not sure how much information you would like me to provide, but I'm happy to provide a bit more. And that way they can guide you as to how much information they want you to give them. So that's a really quick nugget for you in terms of how to answer the question. Walk us through your CV, highlighting any experience which is relevant to the role you've applied for. This question may not come in the way I've worded it. They may word it differently, but always ask yourself, why are they asking me this question? If I was them, what would I want to hear? So that would guide your answer and guide you along the right path in terms of how you come across. I'm going to do more videos with more tips. Let me know if this was helpful. Send me your questions on any of the forums where you've seen this, or you can reach out to us via our project management platform, Really Not Rocket Science. Feel free to send us a DM. Our Instagram handle is at Really Not Rocket Science. So go to Really Not Rocket Science and go send us a DM and let us know if you want us to answer any more questions. And let's hear your feedback on these videos. Thank you.